Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the Late Late Show. I'm your host, TV's Craig Ferguson. Please sit down, relax. I was flamencoing there. I felt the urge. Listen, I don't know if you've been watching the show, but we've been having flu watch on the show. I've had flu-like symptoms. Today it's flu watch, yes. Flu watch day 11. Can we get the graphic up here? Flu watch day 11. Day 11! Day 11! But it's day 3 of the road to recovery. And day 3 of the road to recovery. And we have to look back on Flu Watch and realise, what have we learned? How can we stop it happening again? Well, we've learned that the flu is bad, but the side effects from the antibiotics are much worse. My nuts are still aching from the thud. Aching, look! All right, get rid of that. Yes, I have the... I don't want to be smutty, but I've got, you know, I've got swollen testicles. I've also got fatigue from the antibiotics, or maybe I'm just exhausted from lugging around these giant testicles. Anyway, it's enough of that. I'm so sorry. That's just... It's smutty. I'll stop doing that right now. One of the other side effects of the antibiotics is I'm feeling a bit frisky. And speaking of the friskiness, you know the 40-year-old virgin movie comes out tomorrow. And tomorrow night, the movie star Steve Carell will be on this show. Now, hold your applause, hold your applause. It's tomorrow. That's a long time to clap. Anyway, he's from the 40-year-old virgin, and I'm 43. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, losing my virginity. I'm looking forward to it. Now, I've lost my virginity. I lost it some time before I was 40. I'm not bragging. I'm just leaking some classified information. But I realise this is a hot button issue, the virginity thing, and I don't want to be smutty. But allow me to share my own experience of losing my virginity. It's a tender story. It's a tender story of love and awkwardness. Now, as I mentioned before, I dropped out of high school. And since most high school students where I come from lose their virginity to the teachers, I had to become a man outside of the educational system. So me and 3 other 17-year-old boys, we went to a seaside town called Scarborough in England. Now, I don't know if you know it. It's kind of a down-market Atlantic City, if such a thing exists. You know the song, Are You Going to Scarborough Fair? Right, well, it's like that, except there's no fair and no Simon and Garfunkel, is it? Anyway, this is punk rock time. This was the time of punk rock. And there was a band called the UK Subs were playing. Does anyone remember the UK Subs? No. No. Yes, I do! Anyway, punk rock was great for awkward teenagers because the style was to look like an awkward teenager. You know, ugliness was encouraged. You know, zits, greasy hair, it was all part of the thing. And I was at the precise age where you're growing too fast, you're not sure how big your body is yet, you're bumping into things, and my voice is kind of changing like that and everything. So it was a perfect time for me to become a man. So me and my buddies go to see this punk band, the UK Subs, and we were drinking. Right? It wasn't smart, it wasn't funny, and someone's eye could have got taken out, but we were drinking. And there was only about 6 people in the audience, 4 of us, and there was 2 girls in the audience. And in those days, the girls in England, they used to put their handbags on the dance floor and dance around them. I don't know why. They just did. They put their handbags on the floor and they were like... Now, one of these girls was stunningly beautiful, striking features, just beautiful. And her friend was there too. And her friend was lovely. She was a bigger girl. And I asked the good-looking girl to dance, and she said no. She was happy with her handbag. But the bigger girl said yes. And in my awkward state, it was fine with me. So I ended up making out with this girl, who had a lovely personality, of course, on the dance floor. So I get rid of my buddies, who by this time are, you know, dancing around their wallets. And I go back. This girl invited me back to her trailer. And I'm not talking about a trailer on a movie set. This is, you know, it was a trailer in a trailer park. It was double wide, though, you know. She was... Anyway, I was excited. I could tell by the making out and the rubbing and the, you know, the atmosphere. I knew this was the night I was going to lose my virginity. Now, there are technical issues involved here, because my first home run, as it were, has kind of an asterisk to it, you know, like the Roger Maris things. It was kind of a solo home run. I'll tell you what. Well, no, come on, don't be smutty. See, what happened was, you see, she took her clothes off, and I took my clothes off. Now, this was the first time I'd been in a room with a naked woman, and I kind of finished right there. I arrived a little early, if you know what I mean. I mean, she was like, you know, she was at the other, you know, the other side of the trailer. I was just so excited. I just, wait! She was very sweet. She reassured me. She said, that was lovely to watch. And she was flattered by how excited I was, and I was ready to go again right away. It was, you know, I was 17. It wasn't like now. Now I'd fall into a deep sleep, more of a hibernation. I get up some months later, kind of... But then, I was 17, I'm like, bah, yes! So we got back into the business, and it was, I didn't know the mechanics of it, where it was like wrestling, except slightly less gay. Only slightly. And the punk rock tradition then was to be mean to each other. You know, people didn't give each other compliments, you weren't nice, so we kind of said bad names to each other, and it was very sexy. Anyway, I don't think it was her first time. It might have been her first time from that kind of distance, but... Anyway, I want to say, we all had punk rock names, and I can't remember that lovely girl's name. I can remember her punk rock name, so Margaret Vomit. Thank you. Margaret Vomit, thank you for making a boy a man that summer. And wherever you are, congratulations.